going to show you what we do in our 2 series. I talked a little bit about getting the basketball to the second side when we were looking at KPIs. Whenever you can reverse the basketball, it gives you better offensive efficiency. So if we're in our 2 series, we expect our players, when the basketball comes down the floor, is to get the ball over to a wing. That's your first side. After you pass, do your cut, head under the basket, exit to the corner. Other kids, they can fill and come up and fill, pass it back here, fill, pass it back here, come up to the wing, get it to the wing. Now that is our second side. So our 2 series, if all we say to our kids is 2, that's good enough. They got it to the second side, and now they can look to score. It might be a wide open shot, might be a drive or whatever. But now let's say in our 2 series, we've already reversed the basketball. All right, we've already reversed the basketball. It's on the second side of the floor or on its way to the second side of the floor. And this is the second side here. Here's our first side. It's already been to the wing. Ball's here, and it's on its way to this wing to get to the second side. If we are in a 2-3, which is part of our 2 series, so if we go 2-3, what we say to our kids, 2 is the second side, 3, there's 2 letter E's in the word 3. There's also 2 letter E's in the word screen. So we now want a screen, which is called a pick if it's on the ball, all right? But pick doesn't have any E's in it, so we go with 3. So now when the basketball gets passed to the wing, if we're in a 2-3, there's the 2, it gets to the second side, and 3 is pick, which is a screen. Now we come off that pick. And it could be a pick and roll or a pick and pop, all part of our 2 series, all right? Now let's say we're in 2-5. If we're in 2-5, that's a 5. Basketball's here, all right, winger's here, ball back gets to that winger. Because we're in a 5, all right, because we're in a 5, 5 rhymes with drive. So this kid now, when it gets to the second side, we're in a 2-5, has to drive. So this player can either hold up because you know this kid's going to drive and just be on the perimeter, or when you pass, you make your cut immediately and get out to the corner, because even if there's a baseline drive, you might end up being the shooter in that case. But 2-5 is part of our 2 series, is we expect you to drive. The other one, 2-4. So the ball gets to the second side. All right, ball gets to the second side. This player now, when it gets to the second side, if we're in 2-4, she's going to dribble the basketball somewhere between the 2 circles. Her other 4 teammates are all lined up on the baseline. 4 players are low. 4 players are on the baseline. This player has to be a one-on-one player. They are now going B1. They're expected to beat 1 defender. They're looking for their shot first. If they don't get their shot, then they got to make a read. As soon as this player gets to the 3-point line, this player can circle up, that player can circle up, and if their defense doesn't go with them, they'll be open for a 3. The other thing we could do is, as soon as the ball gets to the 3-point line, this player sets a down screen, this player circles out there, and then this player gets a seal. These players can get seals. So it's just whatever penetration principles you want to implement, you can do so. And this is 4. And we may use 4 that's not in the 2 series. So again, there's our 2 series. We could be bringing the basketball down the floor. It could be a time and score situation. So there's 10 seconds left to go in a quarter, and this kid has a basketball, bringing it down an alley. All right, if we're into a 4, then all the other 4 players get down to the baseline, and then this kid does her attack. All right, so it could be at the end of a quarter, could be at the end of a shot clock, and we want to get into the 4. So our 2 series is very, very effective. If we find that the ball gets stuck on one side of the floor, then we'll either call out 2 as coaches, or we'll call it the 2 series, and we'll let the players decide which of these they want to do. It's totally up to them. If we really want a 4 or we really need to drive, then the coaches, we may help out with that. But for the most part, we let our kids decide in the 2 series what it is they want to execute, and that's because we have to get the ball to the other side. Defenses have more trouble defending when the ball gets to the second side of the floor than if it just stays on one side. So the 2 series becomes very important.